What is up, you beauties? My name is BatchatBegins, and welcome back to another great video on the channel. Playing in the Object 140 today is Every Good Name is Taken from the EU server, a good friend of mine, and a great player to boot. The tank that Every is playing today doesn't get seen a lot in Tier 10, and the reason for that is because the T62A and the T22 Medium are the kings of the Russian lines, right? They're the best Tier 10 Russian medium tanks out there, and the 140 is severely lacking behind those tanks, and that is because the 140's niche, in that it is speedy and has decent hull armor, is kind of negated by the fact that there are speedier tanks with better hull down capabilities like the 62A now, and tanks that are flat out more troll on the hull like the T22 Medium. But unfortunately, because of the tanks that have been introduced into the game, the 140's niche is not as popular anymore. It used to be that tank that could just rush in, and it could use its really good hull armor and its fantastic gun with its great heat pin to go ahead and nuke any heavy tanks and or TDs that were in the back of the map. But since the nerfs in patch 3.5 and 3.7, where the medium tanks lost their penetration and the premium rounds lost DPM when you're firing them over standard rounds, that kind of made the 140 into this very mediocre tank. And since the 62A did get buffed, it has 7 degrees of gun depression, one better than the 140, and it has a very, very accurate gun. The 140 does have AP for standard, meaning that it does get better normalization than the 62A. But that's not much when the 62A can full hull down with that amazing turret that it has. And the T22 has not only a better turret, but better hull armor. Its sides can absolutely bounce some of the biggest shells in this game, whereas the 140, you're not really going to be bouncing 183s or Jaegerus that much, especially if they're just going to go ahead and aim for your turret. Nevertheless, Every has gone ahead and tried to secure the medium flank, but unfortunately his 50B did go down, meaning that there is a low health IS-7 coming his way, a Sheridan, a 62A, and who knows, there could be more tanks in the back, but the problem is right now, he can't be incredibly aggressive, and he has to work certain positions. His flexibility is not as much as other medium tanks would be in this scenario. As you can see, he has a less than half health IS-7 to contend with here. Obviously, the 62 has gone and repositioned. Otherwise, we would see him at some point here, or he would be perusing around the middle of the map. But the problem is, if the IS-7 stays hull down, there's practically nothing this 140 can do. So Every's got a choice to make. Does he go ahead and stay passive, or does he attempt to go ahead and try and take out that IS-7? Well, at the moment, he is staying passive. He's trying to play it as safe as possible in order to save his hit points in case he needs them at the end of the game. And honestly, that's not a bad play. Some people might call him a coward for sitting back here, or say that he is throwing the game, when in reality he is not doing that. He is simply trying to bide his time, survey his options, see if he can get some shots into anybody on his left, and at the same time, he's preventing the IS-7 from moving anywhere forward towards the rest of his team. He is preoccupying a tank, and the rest of his team need to go ahead and hold their own. Unfortunately, the E3 does go ahead and kill the E100. There is another E100 over there, a full health WZ-113 GFT, an STB-1, and that 62 that we saw earlier. The IS-7 at the moment is a one-shot, but the more important thing is the 62A is going ahead and making his way towards us. Unfortunately, because of that IS-7 shot earlier, he did lose a bit more health than normal due to that fire. And right here is where I think he made just a small bit of a mistake. He could have hugged that church and potentially gotten some supporting fire from the middle. But he does go ahead and decide to go into the dip next to the bridge. And this is where the 62A would normally shine in this situation, because it has better gun depression and it has that rock solid turret, as you're seeing. Even when the 140 is firing heat, he is going to have a very tough time to pin him. And that 62A player has obviously come up against some sort of mediocre players because he just feels that he is invincible, when in reality you really aren't in any medium tank. So Every does go ahead and even the playing field. They're both at almost 1,000 health, and unfortunately that shell did bounce off the 62A's front. You won't find that happening very often. It's more common with the 140 to bounce shells off of your hull, but the thing is, these tanks have the same DPM for the most part, so Every, with that bounce on his side, is able to go ahead and secure that 1v1. Unfortunately for Every, the situation was a 3v1, now a 2v1, thanks to the E100 pushing in with no support, and it's left it to a full health WZ 113 GFT and a one-shot STB1. The STB1 could theoretically high roll to 438 with standard ammo and potentially one-shot Every, and as we know, the WZ has a large gun. It could definitely one-shot Every, or it could potentially HE him and kill him as well. So this situation is very tense, and potentially there is a lot of work to be done here to win this game. Anyway, as you well know, I've said it a million times on this channel, you want to focus out the tanks with the highest DPM and that are the lowest hit points, and obviously both of those are true of the STB1. So Every is just trying to get a shot in the STB1, but as we all know, the STB1 has that really, really good turret. He does get shot, but he manages to go ahead and hit the hull of the STB1 with the 140s really good on the move dispersion. And right now is clutch time. He needs to go ahead and track, but unfortunately the WZ goes ahead and repairs, but he forces the WZ to miss, and now he is on his side, the exact spot where he wants to be. He's going to shove himself right in between the bridge and the WZ, making it to where the WZ cannot turn. And unfortunately for the red E100, it is a GG easy, but it is a GG easy for the green team. Every goes ahead and nails a fantastic 6.9k game. Absolutely crazy. Mastery badge, Top Gun, high caliber, and a Calabanos medal. Very, very well done, Every. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe. All relevant links will be down in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one.